Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the April 20th, 2020 work session of the Salisbury City Council. We have 5 items on the agenda tonight, and we'll handle them expeditiously, as possible. First up on the agenda is a resolution to revise the Water and Sewer Utility Directive. And for that discussion, Tom Stevenson will lead us in that. Tom, you're on.
Good afternoon, Mr. Council President, Council members. Thank you for accepting our recommendation to make revisions to the Water and Sewer Utility Directive. In the past, the City of Salisbury has allowed for a 60% adjustment when a account holder has a substantial leak or something that results in a non-beneficial use of water. Over time, we've had a number of customers that have come to us and asked if we would reconsider that amount, or they have not been satisfied with the amount of adjustment. Although 60% is generous, it can still leave utility users with substantial bills to pay. So we're recommending today that we modify the directive so that it would read as such. We're defining a consumption threshold here. So in order to receive a 60% credit, the consumption would have to be at least 3 times the average consumption for account holders with an average consumption of 500,000 gallons per quarter, or 2 times the average consumption for accounts that are greater than 5,000 gallons per quarter. In addition, we're recommending a 90% credit for increased consumption that is at least 20 times the average consumption for those accounts that are 500,000 gallons or less, or 10 times for customers that have average consumption of greater than 500,000 gallons. For example, we had a customer recently who their first 2 quarters, water bills for the first 2 quarters at their new property were, I believe, $150 for the first quarter and then $180 for the second quarter. When the third quarter bill came around, unbeknownst to them, they had a substantial leak and their water bill was $5,000. Obviously, this was difficult for the property owner to try to pay. And even with the 60% adjustment, they were still left with a $2,000 bill. In this particular case that I'm referencing today, the consumption was 51 times the normal amount of consumption. So in a situation like this, moving to 90% credit for either 20 or 10 times the average consumption allows us a little bit more leverage to work with account holders if they find themselves in that situation. And of course, as you read through the resolution, there are some things that they would have to satisfy. The leak would have to be something that would not normally be detected by the account holder. A city employee would have to confirm that there was a non-beneficial use of water. For example, if you filled up a swimming pool, that wouldn't apply here. The account holder has determined the cause of the leak and had it repaired. The adjustment can only apply to 2 quarterly water bills, so we wouldn't go any further back than that. The adjustment can only be provided once in a 3-year period for that current account holder. Now, if the property were to sell, you had a new account holder, certainly they couldn't apply for the adjustment. And late fees are not adjusted. So that's what we're proposing today, is to change the amount of adjustment allowable. They typically end up on my desk. The mayor and I have talked about this a number of times. He's had some customers that have been disappointed with our inability to provide any more leeway than that. So that's what we're proposing. I'd be happy to take questions.
Okay, Mr. Boda.
So also, when they're getting adjusted, we're also adjusting the sewer piece as well, correct?
Yes.
Ms. Jackson? Oh, she may not be on. Ms. Blake?
No questions.
Mrs. Gregory?
No questions.
Tom, I have something. There's 2 aspects of this. The first is the bill, and the second is the water usage itself. and
Yes.
its impact on environment, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not sure. I thought we were talking about at one point last year, maybe it was, where I asked a question about, is there a technology, since we can do this remotely, we bill from a remote location, correct? Could we?
Well, no,
We don't?
we're still sending meter readers through neighborhoods with remote equipment. So as they drive through, they're picking up the signal from each meter. So we are in between quarters. Now, what we do is if we think there's a leak, we hang a door tag, let the property owner know that it appears that there might be some kind of a leak. For example, a toilet that could be running, that can be several thousand gallons of water over the billing period. But we have talked about during some CIP conversations, and that may be what you're thinking about, is moving to meter reading technology where it would be done remotely. If that be the case, then the property owner could receive an email right away saying that it looks like they have increased consumption and they might be able to get to those things earlier. Now that comes with a price tag, but that's something we got in the CIP and we'd like to move forward with.
Yeah, because really, it's a 3-month rotation.
Yes.
So you could, if you had it in the first month, that $5,000 bill could have been who knows what.
That's correct.
So just let me go out, because I've been thinking about this when I got the original packet. Could this be done and read by drones?
I don't believe that technology is out there, but it's certainly something that I could look into. The meter reading system that we're looking at now would require us to put in some towers throughout the city, so we need some tower locations, but I suppose it could be done. I've not seen the technology. Okay,
because that would seem to be the lowest cost, because if you can get something that reads it on a drone, then the operator can go through and just from whatever location it is and do it on a monthly basis, which would then cut down on the use. I'm more concerned. I'm concerned about the finances. Certainly, if I was one of the people that was affected, I would care. But I'm more concerned about the water waste, if you want.
Well, with this automated meter reading system that we're proposing, as I mentioned a moment ago, if an account holder had an email on file and the meter itself detected potential for high use, it would alert the account holder right away. So there'd be no real lag time. Even a month could be a lot of water if we were doing this with drone technology. So this would notify them right away, but it's a pretty hefty price tag, and it's something we have to consider the pros and cons of.
Gotcha. And then it's a return on investment is what it is.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll poll the council now on moving this forward. Mr. Boda.
Yes, I'm good with it.
Ms. Jackson. Ms. Jackson's a no vote. Ms. Blake.
I'm good with it. Yes.
Mrs. Gregory.
Very good with it.
And the chairman votes yes to move it forward. So we will move this forward. Thank you, Mr. Stevenson.
And Jack,
thank you all.
here. I'm sorry, I hadn't unmuted myself.
Oh, okay.
I apologize.
You want to record your vote or whether to move it forward?
Yes,
okay, great.
Thank you all. Have a great evening.
You too, Tom.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda is a resolution to approve the purchase of 319 Truett Street for use as the Truett Street Community Center. And we have two people going to report. Grants Manager Debbie Stam will go first and then followed by Everett Howard. Debbie, you're on.
Okay, great. Thank you. First, we have a cover memo that was done by Everett Howard, introducing the resolution and also indicating that a copy of the sales contract is attached. And this is a resolution of the City of Salisbury to purchase improved real property located at 319 Truett Street from Devreco LLC for use as the Truett Street Community Center. So for this one, we're just looking for approval to move forward with that contract.
Okay. Mr. Howard? You have to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, we're good.
Okay. I think everybody's familiar with the positive effects that we're having with the community center in Truett Street area, the different programming over there. This purchase, will help us to maintain that, permanently, and to make some other improvements to the building that we're currently leasing, and save us money in the long run.
Okay. Thank you very much. This is exciting. Mr. Boda, any questions or comments?
I'm really happy to see us move forward and purchase this property. It's been really great for the Doberdale neighborhood over here, and a lot of people are very happy with it and the services being provided. I think this is great because we can use it for some other things too, not just that programming. I think there's a lot of potential, and I feel better if we own the property.
Thank you. Ms. Jackson?
Oh, I'm overwhelmed. I'm glad that we have that opportunity, and I'm all for it.
Thank you. Ms. Blake?
Yes, absolutely. It's a great opportunity, and I'm glad we're considering this.
Great. Mrs. Gregory? Are you unmuting yourself?
Trying to, sorry about that.
Okay.
It wasn't popping up. I don't know what the
Okay.
deal was. No, I think this is a fantastic opportunity, and I'm so glad watching the transformation of that building has been really amazing. So I'm really, really glad we're doing this.
Great. And I fourth that, I guess, or fifth that. It's a fantastic opportunity. I'm thrilled to do it. And I think we certainly have consensus to move it forward. So thank you. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Everett. And we have Debbie's on again. For an ordinance to amend the budget for the grant for the Truett Street Community Center. Debbie, tell us about it.
Okay, so we recently received finally the grant agreement from DGS for the 100,000 that we have been waiting for in order to complete the purchase. We have all the matching funds. We had to match it with an equal amount, 100,000, and we have pieced that together in a few different grant accounts. But we did finally get the grant agreement for that 100,000. The mayor has signed it. It's been returned to DGS, and we're just going to have to wait for the State Board of Public Works to be able to hold a meeting before they can officially fully execute it and return the document to us. Now, I asked them when that might happen, and the response I got was they hoped to be able to hold a meeting in June. So that's what we're looking at.
Okay.
But we do have the ordinance here, which allows us to officially accept the 100,000 and add it to the budget, appropriate it so it can be ready to expend it.
Great. Any questions and comments, and do you support it? Mr. Boda?
Anytime we can get grants to help us with some things like this is great, and certainly support this.
Thank you, Mr. Boda. Ms. Jackson?
I see what everybody's saying. I'm having a problem finding it myself, the mute button, but I'm all for it. I'm glad it's coming to fruition, and I'm for it.
Great, thank you. Ms. Blake?
Thanks, Debbie, for getting all these grants and all these leads and getting all this stuff taken care of for us. This is a great opportunity, and of course I'm for it.
Okay, Mrs. Gregory?
I'm for it.
Great, thank you. I'm in total support of it, obviously, and hopefully they can get this done and we can get it through by June, and then it'll be ours. So thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Everett, again. We appreciate it, and we have consensus on this item. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Next, we have an ordinance. Mr. Tillman?
Okay, I found it. Yes, this is the ordinance that was proposed at the, or that came up for review regarding the bonds for the transient merchants. And the only issue or the only change that I suggested that we make was beginning in line 77, that we have the option to extend those bonds for another year if the director of business development requested it. And so I stuck that language in there. Other than that, it's exactly what was presented.
Great. Laura, do you have anything to add?
Nothing on my part now.
Okay.
I'll defer to you guys.
Thank you. Mr. Boda, questions, and do you support?
No questions. Good job on getting this together, Mark and Laura. I'm really happy to see, especially for the festivals, that we've streamlined it and they don't have to go through the whole process of doing that. And I think that's going to help us attract some more vendors for our events. So thank you. Great job. I support it.
Thank you, Mr. Boda. Ms. Jackson?
I support it.
Thank you. Ms. Blake?
Support it.
Thank you. Mrs. Gregory?
Support it.
Thank you. I agree with Mr. Boda 100%. We've seen what streamlining will do on infrastructure and development, and what the impact it's had on our development in the area, and this will be the same thing. The simpler you can make things, the better it is for all of us. So thank you, Laura. Thank you, Mark. And I support the move forward as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Council.
We have a budget amendment to cover a shortfall in the 2019 elections budget with the Wycomico Board of Elections and Anthony Gutierrez. We had a question. Is Anthony on the line?
He's not.
Okay. Ms. Nichols, can you tell us, please, where we are with the request for help in lowering the bill?
Yes, I can. Mr. Gutierrez did ask the question. He formally did send a letter, asked the question to see if we could get some relief, and has not heard back. He expects to hear back later this week. So we'll know something later in the week, hopefully.
Okay, thank you very much. Questions and comments, and do you support moving it forward? Mr. Boda?
No questions. I think we've discussed this fairly well in depth, and I think we should go ahead and move it forward. Hopefully we can get some relief with this.
Thank you. Ms. Jackson?
Moving forward.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Blake?
Alex, I just have a question. So if we move it forward and we don't know if they're providing us with relief, the ordinance states the full amount? Or was that half?
No, it would be the full amount if they don't give us anything. We could adjust and amend it
Okay.
when we get the information.
Okay, so if I say I want to move it forward, it doesn't stick us to that amount.
Correct. We
Okay.
can make an amendment.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm moving forward.
Okay. Mrs. Gregory?
Move it forward.
Okay, and I agree to move it forward. So we have consensus on that item as well. Ms. Glanz, do we have anything else that you want to, for the good of the order?
Not from me, and didn't look like we had anybody join us for any comments, so we're all set.
Okay, thank you very much. Just for any comments from any of the council members, Mr. Boda?
Yeah, just hope everyone stays safe, and I think we're all probably, I know I am due for some exercise. I need to lose a little weight now. But I really look forward to seeing everybody in person soon, hopefully.
Thank you. Ms. Jackson?
I'm gonna run out from here, praying that everyone stays safe, stays healthy during this time. And letting everybody know in Salisbury that the Camp Hope is doing very well so far. The homeless shelter that Salisbury, the city of Salisbury has provided. Like I said, Angela and I have been out there a few days and running smoothly. Didn't get a chance to get out there today, but hoping to get out there the rest of this week. Check it out. I mean, if you don't want to check it out, just give donations, whatever you can give. Just, support. Thank you.
Ms. Blake?
The only thing I'm going to say is ditto with the Camp Hope. It's fantastic. The community support and outreach has been very heartwarming. If you're healthy, please give blood. We're very low generally, but please, at this time, we need blood donations more than ever. If you're healthy, please make an appointment and give blood. Thank you.
Mrs. Gregory?
I hope everybody is staying safe. Make sure that if you're ordering delivery, make sure you're tipping your delivery drivers well. A lot of folks are out of work, so they're turning to gig jobs, and we need to help our community members as much as we can. Other than that, just stay home, stay safe. This will be over. This is as soon as we can all stay put for any length of time.
Thank you, Michelle. I'd like to echo Angela's call for blood. I know somebody at the blood bank, and they are hurting big time, and we need to get that reservoir of blood back up to where it should be. So please do that. Next, I would like to again thank PAC 14 for allowing us to make this stuff happen. And the last thing I wanted to say is that the mayor, in discussion with the mayor, I think he referred to the homeless tents, that they need, one of their main needs is toiletries. So if you can donate toiletries and get them, who should they send them to, Julia?
They can drop them off at Lake Street Playground or reach out to Christine Chestnut. We have
Okay.
Her email is cchestnut with 2 T's at the end at salisbury.md.
Great, thank you. Other than that, everybody, please. I'm sorry, who was talking?
I just received some from the community. The community has brought me some toiletries. So I'll be taking them to Christine tomorrow morning. Great.
Thank you, everybody. Please stay safe and be Salisbury strong. With that, we are moved. Thank you.